Is now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice: continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at unbound.org.
Is this the takeover?
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
Game 1 in the NBA Western Conference Finals goes to Oklahoma City. OKC used a dominant second half Tuesday night to pull away for a 114-88 win at home over Minnesota. Game 2 in the best of 7 is Thursday night at OKC. Indiana and New York meet up tonight in Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals, 4 p.m. tip-off LA time. The Dodgers snapped their 4-game losing streak. They beat Arizona 4-3 in 10 innings. The Angels won their 5th straight. They beat Oakland 7-5, longest winning streak for the Angels since June 11, 2023. NFL owners voted Tuesday to allow NFL players to compete in flag football in the Summer Olympics here in LA in 2028. The Summer Games in LA will be the first for flag football as an Olympic sport. The Olympics are scheduled for July 14th to the 30th. That could be a problem for NFL players. Most NFL teams start their training camp within those 2 weeks. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
You really about to do it?
40 acres and a mule. This is bigger than the music.
You really about to do it?
Yeah, they tried to rig the game, but you can't fake influence.
Who among us doesn't like black music? But Kendrick is right. This moment is so much bigger than music. These are serious times. We've got serious problems, and we need serious people who understand that slogans are not solutions. When you want substantial and sober analysis about things that matter to you and the ones you love, this is where you turn. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we've got your black.
Baby!
Man, I feel like money. Man, I feel like money. They attracted to me. They come around like honey. They come around like honey. 'Cause I fly like a bee. Man, I got them all buzzing. Buzzing. Like then I got the world buzzing. Back to back up in the
Welcome
mix
to
like
Wealth
that.
Building
And I know you
Wednesdays,
like it
where we
when it's
center
just
black,
like that.
women, and BIPOC-owned businesses, highlight opportunities and initiatives for underrepresented entrepreneurs, and center socially innovative enterprises, building generational prosperity, fostering real networking, and recycling black dollars. It's Wealth Building Wednesdays on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yes, it is. And we're going straight to the homegrown entrepreneur today, Miles Lowe. You know, you see him here every day as our production coordinator. He's doing so many more things than you know. He's not just running the board. He's editing commercials and making everything run. But this is the day job. You're actually an entrepreneur with your own. Actually, you got multi-pronged businesses. You're a rap artist, and you also have your podcast thing going on.
Yes, media production is something I'm stepping into. And yeah, thank you for having me on Wealth Building Wednesdays, Dominique. Yeah.
What? Let's build some wealth in the building, shall we?
Yeah, it's good. Let's do that. Let's build some wealth. Let's do that.
Yeah. So, talk to me about how that works. I mean, you're functioning as an artist. You're your own manager, your own marketing team, you're an independent artist. Talk to me about how that business model works.
Well, you know, being here during our Wealth Building Wednesdays, I'm actually still learning that part of the business side, learning to put together the actual business model, learning that is more than just the entertainment side of it, more than just the production of products and services and, you know, getting, clients and customers and fans. It's a lot more that you actually have the business side of it. In order and without a plan, it's going to be pretty hard. So here I am within my first year, and I'm realizing that, there's a lot more to it than just, getting after it.
Yeah. So you have to develop all these multiple skill sets and keep all these balls in the air while still having the expressive sort of freestyle life and energy of an artist. I mean, artists have to be, you can't be that buttoned up, right?
I don't think so. I think the best artists are the ones that are allowed to free flow through life sometimes. But that's not always the best for the business side. And you'll see that pretty quickly too. That you can't lollygag and have things on your time. When it comes to this paperwork, when it comes to money, when it comes to other people's timeline that you're working with. So yeah, it's a lot to it for sure.
So now you have the Do Better Network?
Do Better Network. The Do Better Network. If you knew better, you do better. So who better to make you better, Dominique? A better you, that's who. Yes.
I see you got the slogans worked out. And I love that. Well, of course, he's a rap artist. He's going to have the writing part done. What is
that's the easy part.
Yeah, that's the easy part. So what is the purpose of that? What are you doing with that?
The purpose of the Do Better Network, I just feel like we're at a position where we need to, be back outside really as a society, as a people, and really come together and network in positive ways. Have a positive networks to, produce our best content for us, our best news, a place you can trust. So it's not like I'm a one of one, I'm one of many, but I feel like you can't have an excess of good stuff, I believe. So why not have more good stuff and, make people better along the way?
So a couple of things. First of all, how can people see your podcast on the Do Better Network? How can they see the products that you're offering?
Yep. So go to YouTube right now. Just type in the Do Better Network, or at Miles Low Music. Both the same channel links you to the same place. It's where I'm housing my music videos, housing my my live shows, housing my content. I'm starting to produce my music content in the podcast. Well, the first thing that we pushing besides the music stuff on the Do Better Network on YouTube, Instagram at the Do Better Network, at Miles Low Music on Instagram, YouTube. So yeah, we're outside. We're here.
I mean, not, criminal trial notwithstanding, a lot of the time the business moguls that are also artists, the Diddy's, the 50 Cents, it seems like sometimes they kind of fade back a little bit from the artistry and get more focused on the business, and you're trying to do both at the same time.
No, personally, I want to be more of the music. I really want to be more of that side. I'm all for early I'm learning that it's good to collab and work with other people. So I'm not the person who wants to hold on to all the business stuff on my own. I'm really more of an artist at heart. So I'd much rather do that. But, I understand the love of the money. Once you start getting at a certain level, that's kind of your skill as well. Maybe you're a little bit more of a hustler and you enjoy that side of the business of it. Maybe you're into the numbers. Maybe you're into marketing and ads and everything and partnerships. Those are the things that drive you after a certain point in time. So
right. So it's not your goal to own a label, to be a Jay-Z necessarily in that sense. As far as being a mogul, you're more interested in being an artist.
Right, for sure. Definitely that way.
Independent by choice, but independent by necessity also.
Right, definitely. But I don't want to. I'm not opposed to the right partnership or deal or brand or whatever coming along and we can make something happen at the right time either.
And so how do we, obviously you can go to any streaming platform and you can buy Miles Low, you can buy or just stream Miles Low music. And you always talk about even.biz, go there, buy the album directly so that you get the product from the artist. We've talked repeatedly, but I want to remind folks that getting back to this idea of buying an album, even though it's digital, is going to be important, not just for Miles Low music, but for the survival of artists, period, because the record labels now have this weird model where artists don't even make any money on their own music.
Right, on top of that, they're not really working for the artists in the ways they were before. Now the artists are kind of... labels won't even message you if you don't come with a certain amount of status or followers or your own team, your own motion already in order and sales to back up what you got going and a full business model. Everything has to work out for the labels to want to get in with you instead of it being, you're the talent, we're going to do the business side for you. We're kind of more inheriting what you got and kind of making it bigger in a sense. So that's good in the sense that they're not necessarily having a barrier to entry, but once again, there's no barrier to entry. So if you have a chance to actually support the artists that are pushing something on a holistic high level, then that's your chance to do it instead of letting the labels be the ones to force who you're going to support. You know what I mean?
How many releases do you have now?
I just dropped my 4th release under the Do Better Network called Imagine That.
That's obviously, I never know what to call them now. Your new album?
Album, project, EP, mixtape, whatever you want to call it. It's all the same thing.
Yeah, because it's definitely not a CD. It's not a tape. It's not a record. But whatever, your 4th project.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously you can stream any project, but for you, it's how do we best support you? There's so many people that love you, that listen to this radio station in our network. How do we best support you? Is it buying the current project? Should we get all 4? Is it, streaming? Like, what's the best way to show up?
I feel like the best way would be that good old donation. Go to even.biz, put the money in the collection plate, get support the artist, get the art from the artist. But besides that, word of mouth is a great thing as well. Social media post, awareness, buying some shirts and actually wearing the shirts, taking pictures in it, getting some for somebody else. Yeah, I mean, and I'm still trying to figure out. Go ahead.
I'm laughing because you got your Do Better shirt on today.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. There's so many things to do, and there's so many different ways to monetize what you got going on. So it's just putting a business model around them, and merch is one thing, but how sustainable is merch? I'm starting to learn. Especially if you're the one doing your own inventory, you're pressing up all your own stuff, you're not doing anything through drop shipping. How sustainable is that? So the best way for sure right now is get the stuff from the artist at even.biz, at Miles Low Music on Instagram. Support, share, and yeah, we're going to figure this out.
Paul says streaming killed the artists, and that's why touring matters so much for artists now. And we've talked about that, and how a lot of, especially independent folks, are making their money from live shows and merch, right?
Yeah, right. We're also in a point, too, where a lot of these venues are being bought up by the Live Nations and the AEGs and, those types of big wigs. So you may not be able to...
it's monopoly is what it is. It's a monopoly, and I hate it so much. It's a monopoly in the music and live entertainment industry, the AEGs, the Live Nations. So then how can you even be independent? Because then you have to go back to the early days of hip-hop when what we were talking about yesterday. We were in warehouses and basements and sort of bootleg venues with people, breakdancing on cardboard and linoleum. But still, those were great shows.
Exactly. And there's still great shows to this day. So that's what I'm saying. The Do Better Network, let's put together these great shows and curate these events for the people so they know where they can go. Set up that network to where they can set their schedule up of where they're going to go every week to support their artists. And when you come to these spaces, I just went to, last night, came to Bananas right here at Lamert. You know what I mean? Come and support the artists. It may be something small, but make it a point to be out there supporting.
I think this is such a great time for that, too, because we need fellowship. We need to get outside of corporate domination as much as possible. I know Amazon is convenient, but if you can buy something locally, even if you still buy other things on Amazon, say 25% of your purchases locally. You can still go see Beyonce or whatever at the big venues, or Chris Brown. Well, once he gets out of jail, but free Chris, free Breezy. But why not go to a small venue? At least 10, 20%, 25% of your entertainment, so that we can recycle those dollars and support the people that we proactively choose to support, like Miles Low Music. How do we track your live performances?
Same place. Instagram right now is probably the best place. I'm on all the socials, so just type in Miles Low Music and you'll find me. I'll pop up. But Instagram right now is probably the most where I'm most active at. And YouTube, I'm actively growing my YouTube as well. Another place to monetize is growing up that YouTube. So YouTube at the Do Better Network, Instagram at Miles Low Music, and mileslowmusic.com.
Well, congratulations to you. And, anything else you want to say about your business model, have at it. I'm happy to have you in the Wealth Building Wednesday spotlight. We're building wealth for this radio station and, of course, for ourselves as individual entrepreneurs as well, so we can grow up and be like Tavis.
We go. Can I say one thing too, Dominique?
Absolutely.
I just want to let everybody know out there, don't don't give up. Okay,
Yeah.
don't give up. Dust yourself off. Take your L's. Take your citations. Take whatever it is that the world throws at you on your way up, and learn from it. But don't give up. Don't quit. Don't think because it's not something that's natural to you or something that comes easy that it's not something you can't learn. It's not something that you can't master, and it doesn't mean it's not for you. So just take the time, learn it. Yeah, don't give up, especially on this business tip.
Absolutely agreed with that. If you've got a business, black owned, a small business, locally owned, socially innovative are my favorite, meaning you have a socially conscious mission as part of your entrepreneurial project, reach out. You can reach out on any social media. I'm at DiPrima Radio, best Instagram, or you can email me, diprimaradio@gmail.com, diprimaradio@gmail.com, and I will definitely consider your business to put a spotlight on it and help you build your wealth. You're listening to KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call, and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit, 800-511-2112. That's 800-511-2112. 800-511-2112.
The Comedy Connection series featuring KBLA's Zoe Williams, the voice of reason, and the alpha male of comedy, Ray Grady. We're going to transform relationship disasters into stand-up material live at Inglewood's Miracle Theater on May 31st at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. My clinical team will disclose all of your dating woes, while the alpha male of comedy, Ray Grady, has hand-selected supremely talented comedians to roast all of our tragic relationship choices. I dare you to bring your ex's phone number, because Ray, he's going to text it live, and the crowd will be sourcing emojis. Tickets are moving swiftly, so don't hesitate to grab yours at themiracleinglewood.com before I diagnose your dating history as a pre-existing condition.
The conversation continues right now with Dominique DiPrima on First Things First.
And it is time to call me. We are in our national, international, and beyond hour. And you can call about whatever is on your mind. And there's so many things on my mind. So I welcome you in 800-920-1580. You're also invited to weigh in on social media. KBLA 1580 on every platform. Even Twitter. We're still on Twitter. And of course, we are looking for your comments, your follows, your likes, even your protests. They're all good. We're happy to have you. I'm there too, DiPrima Radio, DIPRIMA, and then radio, and of course, Miles Low Music. So, Representative Jerry Connolly has died. He's a Democrat, a high-level Democrat. He was on over the Oversight Committee. He had cancer. Folks kind of knew it was coming, but it is it's sad. And he's the third House Democrat to die this year. Sylvester Turner died March 4th. Raul Grijalva of Arizona died March 13th. I'm going to leave that there. Definitely not good news for Democrats, and certainly it's a terrible thing for his family. The Supreme Court yesterday has given a Maine state lawmaker back their right to vote in the House of Representatives. She was punished for a social media post where she doxed a transgender student athlete. I put out their identity. The high court said that she was being granted a request for emergency relief. Her name is Laura Libby. She represents House District 90. And it was her colleagues who censured her for putting out that post that criticized this trans athlete for competing, criticized lawmakers for allowing her to compete, and then outed her name. Of course, Sonia Sotomayor and Ketanji Brown Jackson, the two justices dissenting in that case. But it's not good news because, I mean, no matter where you are on trans people, the idea that a state lawmaker or anyone is free to out you, to dox you, to expose you on social media in that way, for me, it seems to point to the idea that we don't really have safety, right? Because once people call you out like that on social media, the impact is immediate and it's real. You can get swarmed, you can get threats, people can show up and confront you, and all of those things can and do happen. Elon Musk. The South African president, Cyril Ramaphosa, has been pressured by Elon Musk and Donald Trump into giving the richest man in the world a pass to do business in South Africa. What do I mean by that? Foreign companies that want to do business in South Africa are supposed to take part in this thing called the Black Economic Empowerment Law, which means that you have to have partial black ownership or black investment of some kind to come into the country. Elon Musk didn't want that. He didn't want any black South African to have a piece of his Starlink or any say-so in his Starlink network. So he got an exception from the president of South Africa. And he's letting this Trojan horse into the country. I know South Africa wants foreign investment, which is ironic because it's not really foreign, given that Musk was born in South Africa, and he is an Afrikaner baby whose dad made his fortune off the backs of slave wage apartheid era laborers in an emerald mine, and now he's letting him back in after Elon Musk made the wrong and BS statement that Starlink can't operate in South Africa because he's not black. That's actually a lie. They weren't allowed to operate because there's a law saying that foreign investors need to include black investment or black opportunity when they come to the country. It's not because you're not black. It's because you won't allow any black people to do business with your company. And that is partly a very slow and painful way that's supposed to bring some equity to South Africa, which operated under apartheid for decades and forcefully excluded all black people from any business opportunity. And when they were so-called freed, they never got any reparation. They never got any land. There was no redistribution. There was only so-called truth and reconciliation. Oh, we're sorry. And so white people in South Africa still own most everything. Still, for the most part, I'm not going to generalize because I don't know all the white people in South Africa, but from my personal experience, still walk around treating people like they're the big bosses. And, makes sense. I mean, here we are, how many years away from Jim Crow in the United States, and you still have Dylan Roof, and you still have people being refused service at Whole Foods and profiled and all that kind of stuff. So it makes sense. In South Africa, their apartheid is much closer chronologically in time. So those folks act like they are still, the racism is so blatant and so at the surface. So to me, this is terrible, the fact that the South African president is acquiescing, is complicit with the lies of Elon Musk and Donald Trump, and saying that there's a genocide against white people in South Africa. How could there be a genocide when not one single person has been killed, when most of the wealth and land is still owned by the white descendants of those colonizers, where black people still struggle to get any kind of wealth or ownership of anything? And I just hate it. I hate the fact that the South African president feels he has to acquiesce to this. Because he, I guess he could make the argument he's doing it for the good of the country that needs investment. But now you're turning over your communication system to a liar. If you go on Twitter, if you go on the so-called X, that dude is on there lying all day long. He puts up posts that are historically wrong, inaccurate, and actually intentionally erroneous. He is the biggest race pimp of all. I mean, people talk about black folks. He is the biggest race pimp of all. He's constantly saying things that are just not true. Meanwhile, he likes to post fake data to affirm the fact that black people are supposedly genetically inferior. But it is what it is, and we shall see how this turns out. I don't feel like this is going to end well for South Africa. You're turning over your communication system to a man who purposely spreads mis and disinformation, who clearly hates black people, who is so aggressively unwilling to have even one black investor or shareholder that he's willing to leverage his buyout of the President of the United States to pressure you, to force him to be able to do business without helping the black economic footprint there. I just don't see it ending well. Don't see that ending well at all. 800-920-1580, that's the number. If you've got a thing to say about a thing, I'd love to welcome you in. What was that meeting between Trump and Putin? Phone call. I guess that's a meeting. Hey, would you end the war, sir? Oh, no, you won't? Okay, carry on. To me, that makes the United States and the president look weak, ineffective, and stupid. You said on the campaign trail you were going to end that war on day one. Then you're like, oh, nothing's going to happen until I meet with Putin. Then you get on the phone with him and he gives you the finger, basically. We gonna do what we gonna do. And you're just like, okay. Okay, nothing happened. Okay, Russia's still doing what they've been doing. After a 2-hour phone call. 2 hours of talking with Putin, and you came away with nothing. That's a major L. L is for loser. 800-920-1580. We've got news, traffic, and sports, and I'd love to take your phone calls on KBLA Talk 1580.
Say the quiet part out loud. KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. A pro-Palestinian protest is set for Columbia University's commencement. Yesterday, interim president Claire Shipman was booed as chants of Free Mahmoud rang out, referring to a grad arrested by ICE. Columbia recently agreed to federal demands to regain funding. House Republicans are racing to pass President Trump's spending bill, which could add $3.3 trillion to the deficit. After a 1 a.m. Rules Committee meeting, Trump warned GOP holdouts that they'd be knocked out fast. With Democrats opposed, the GOP can only afford 3 defections. And health officials warn of a possible measles exposure at last week's Shakira concert at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. An infected out-of-state attendee was among the 55,000 present. Anyone who may have been exposed should call ahead before seeking medical care. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice. Continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at unbound.org.
Is this the tackle? This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
Game 1 in the NBA Western Conference Finals goes to Oklahoma City. OKC used a dominant second half Tuesday night to pull away for a 114-88 win at home over Minnesota. Game 2 in the best of 7 is Thursday night at OKC. Indiana and New York meet up tonight in Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals, 4 p.m. tip-off LA time. The Dodgers snapped their 4-game losing streak. They beat Arizona 4-3 in 10 innings. The Angels won their 5th straight. They beat Oakland 7-5, longest winning streak for the Angels since June 11, 2023. NFL owners voted Tuesday to allow NFL players to compete in flag football in the Summer Olympics here in LA in 2028. The Summer Games in LA will be the first for flag football as an Olympic sport. The Olympics are scheduled for July 14th to the 30th. That could be a problem for NFL players. Most NFL teams start their training camp within those 2 weeks. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
Attorney advertising. Prior results do not guarantee future outcomes.
Founded in Los Angeles in 1986, litigation powerhouse Quinn Emanuel has deep roots in the Los Angeles community. Since 2007, we have litigated some of the largest fires on the West Coast. We are proud to be the only AmLaw 100 firm in the country to represent wildfire victims, giving affected individuals, families, and businesses the same focus and individualized attention we devote to our Fortune 500 clients. BTI Consulting has repeatedly recognized Quinn Emanuel as among the 4 law firms in-house counsel least like to oppose in any litigation, and we are often deemed the most feared. And after securing over $80 billion for our clients in various matters firm-wide, we understand why. If you have been affected by the recent wildfires in Altadena and the Palisades and would like to discuss your situation further, please contact wildfire support at QuinnEmanuel.com or call us at 213-443-3050. Quinn Emanuel is proud to sponsor Conversation Live Altadena Rising with James Farr on KBLA Talk 1580.
Attorney advertising. Prior results do not guarantee future outcomes.
1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. You ready?
Somebody make some noise in this joint.
KBLA Talk 1580 celebrates its 4th anniversary this year on Juneteenth.
Here we go again.
Hard to believe 4 years has gone by so fast.
Oh my God.
But here we are, still standing, still loving and serving our people as best we can.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
To celebrate our 4th anniversary, we have 4 big events, and you're invited to all of them.
She got a lot to say. Let's do this.
Let's get it on.
On Wednesday, June 18th, we go live on C-SPAN for the 2nd consecutive year with our Climate Justice Plus Black Health Symposium. Tavis Smiley will moderate an all-star panel of thinkers and influencers as we continue our vitally important climate justice work.
Hey, Tavis Smiley, talk about.
On Thursday, June 19th, you're invited to join us as we celebrate Juneteenth and our 4th anniversary. There will be plenty of food, fun, great music, good vibes, and all of your favorite KBLA Talk 1580 hosts will be there.
Yeah, man.
Flip the beat. On Saturday, June 21st, there are 2 big events you're invited to attend.
I can't wait to hear it.
This year, KBLA Talk 1580 continues its annual partnership with the Empowerment Congress for a community celebration and dialogue to educate, engage, and empower. This year's theme is resilience in the face of chaos.
Can't wait to see what's up next.
Y'all ain't ready for this.
And new this year is our State of Black Women in Los Angeles Symposium, moderated by Dominique DiPrima, with a luncheon to follow. Dominique will be leading a dialogue with some of the most impactful Black women leaders in Los Angeles, and you're invited to join.
This is it.
All of these events are free, but seating is limited, so you must register in advance at our KBLA1580.com website, where you can find all the details you need about each event.
Check it out.
It's our 4th anniversary, and we would love to celebrate it with you.
I love you guys so much. There's nothing you can do about it.
We're KBLA Talk 1580.
The only black talk radio station west of the Mississippi.
Thank you for having our black.
Happy anniversary, KBLA.
We love you.
This is KBLA Talk 1580, where hate meets a scholarly match.
Yeah, just talking about what's going on in the world, and you're invited into the convo, always at 800-920-1580. So it's being reported right now that aside from what I just shared with you about Elon Musk getting this exception where he could have his whites-only Starlink company doing business in South Africa per an exception by the president, that President Trump is also lobbying Ramaphosa to change their laws so that they will not have incentives to support black businesses. That is beyond the pale to me. You're going to go to another country and tell them how to run their country. Insane. The UN says that even though international pressure has forced Israel to start letting some aid trucks, a tiny number across the border, no aid has been delivered yet. That blockade's been going on for 11 weeks this time around. Israeli officials said 93 trucks came into Gaza on Tuesday. Some had things like flour and baby food and pharmaceuticals. But the UN says they've crossed in, but they haven't been allowed to distribute anything. Reports are that the vetting process requires workers to completely unpack and repack the trucks multiple times, and that's delaying the distribution of aid. This after Israel agreed on Sunday to allow a tiny amount of food into Gaza because there is a famine going on there right now, and countries like Canada have taken a hard line, saying, "Look, in France, we are going to take action against you, Israel, if you don't let some of this aid in, because we can't have images of people starving to death while you continue to bomb." Meanwhile, their leader, Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel, says his country will take control of the entire region. And is continuing to escalate his bombing attacks and attacks on civilians, even while they are letting just a tiny amount of aid in. So it's Britain, France, and Canada that are really putting the pressure on, saying, you've got to do something. They put out a statement, "We will not stand by while the Netanyahu government pursues these egregious actions. If Israel does not cease the renewed military offensive and lift its restrictions on humanitarian aid, we will take further concrete actions in response." That's Britain, France, and Canada. So he's grudgingly letting a few trucks in. However, that has not resulted in any aid yet, as we've been warned that hundreds of children will starve to death, as in die of hunger, within the next few days if that aid does not get in. It doesn't get much more emergency-like than that. Meanwhile, the president is trying to pass his so-called big, beautiful bill. He's pressuring Republican lawmakers. I'm sure they'll cave. It's interesting that the main opposition is from lawmakers who want to see further cuts to the safety net. And so we'll see. I mean, it's the conservatives and the moderates within the Democratic Party that seem to be fighting. But I feel like that almost always does resolve in the president's favor in these type of deals. And not at all surprising, the 10 richest Americans are $365 billion richer than they were a year ago. That's why, well, I'm pretty sure you know. If you don't know, you haven't been paying attention. It's because of, the Trump party favors. It's a huge increase in wealth. It makes, Bernie Sanders says, them worth more than the entire bottom 50% of the country. The wealth adds up to about $1 billion a day. $1 billion a day in increase for those top 10 billionaires. Whereas the average or typical American worker made around a little more than $50K in 2023. And according to Oxfam, that would take 726,000 years for 10 U.S. workers at their current wages to make that much money. So to make as much money as Elon Musk has from predatory capitalism and the super exploitation of workers, it's going to take you 726,000 years at your current salary. Elon Musk, just him, got $186 billion richer. Now, keep in mind, this is before the tax cuts, and those tax cuts are coming with this so-called big, beautiful bill, right? So the 2017 tax cuts that Trump put in his first term, it was called the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. But that's that BS trickle-down theory that somehow if you make billionaires richer, they're going to hire more people at better wages. That hasn't proven to be true. It's gotten out of committee in the House, and what it would do is not just extend those tax cuts, but make them permanent. The individual income tax breaks, and it would cut taxes on tips and overtime, but only temporarily. So the tax cuts for the rich would be permanent, and your little extra, dollar or two of not getting your tips taxed, that will only be temporary. It's very Trumpian. It's going to, according to the administration, it's going to increase the money that U.S. households have, but that's deceptive because they're using an average, and most of those gains, most of the money will go to the very, very rich. The top 10% of earners will get 2% more because that's how the bill is written. It's written to advantage the oligarchs who are currently running our country. So I don't know what we can do to stop it. Elizabeth Warren said what I said. I say it's party favors for the rich. She called it a giveaway for the rich. And it's something that they have to do now because presidents only get less popular. They're usually their most popular and powerful their first day or their first week. They only get less popular over time. And so that's why they're trying to ram this down our throats right now while the president is still somewhat popular. But it's insane when you look at the wealth inequality in the United States. It's not just a wealth gap between black people and white Americans. It's the wealth gap between the rich and the poor, the haves and the have-nots, which is getting wider and wider, and which is what makes me believe we are definitely on the brink of, if not already fully into, a class war. People talk more about civil war, but the real division that's happening in this country right now is a class war. I think they're both present. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying race is not a thing, but the way things are falling with this massive, massive redistribution of wealth to the very, very top tier of rich people. Warren Buffett, Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, Larry Ellison, Jeff Bezos, Jim Walton, Rob Walton, Steve Ballmer, Sergey Brin, and Larry Page. All of whom, every single one of whom, is male and white. It speaks to the growing danger, the growing reality of class warfare in the United States. It's a perfect time to call me, 800-920-1580. I'm Dominique DiPrima, and this is Black-owned and unapologetically progressive KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
I feel so alone.
I'm embarrassed to talk about it.
How can I help my kid if I can't help myself?
I can't remember when I wasn't stressed.
I don't like it
inside.
When you feel overwhelmed by your thoughts and emotions, it's okay to get help. You are not alone. CalHope is here for you with free, safe, and confidential mental health resources for youth, young adults, families, and you. Find support now at calhope.org.
Pasadena City College is proud to support Conversation Live Altadena Rising with James Farr. For over 100 years, PCC has been a pillar of the community, and we're here for you as we work together to recover from the Eaton fire and rebuild Altadena's future. At PCC, we offer diverse career education programs that prepare you for in-demand jobs, fueling both today's recovery and tomorrow's growth. Whether you're starting a new career or advancing your skills, PCC gives you tools to build your future and your community. Pasadena City College, here for the Dena, here for you. Learn more at pccfordena.com.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Worried about eviction? You have rights, and Stay Housed LA can help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between LA County, the City of Los Angeles, and local service providers. From Lancaster to Long Beach, we're here to help you with tenant education workshops, legal clinics, free legal services for eligible tenants, and online resources about tenant protection laws. Don't face eviction alone. Call our hotline at 1-888-694-0040. That's 1-888-694-0040. Or visit stayhousedla.org. Stay Housed LA, keeping Los Angeles residents in their homes. Stay Housed LA, your rights, your home, our community. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Oh, these polymers aren't as flexible as batch K3.
Researcher Laurie is stretched thin.
Did you get the vulcanization analytics from V66? Oh, wait, are these rubber scores from last week?
She needs to hire new lab technicians so she can bounce back into her old self.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our matching platform lets you spend less time searching and more time connecting with candidates. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we do more than just talk.
You got a big mouth. Hello, Joe, you're up. Welcome.
We're unapologetically progressive, and we don't black down.
Mike Johnson is saying, the Speaker of the House is saying that Republicans have come up with a deal on this so-called big, beautiful tax giveaway to the rich. But we'll see, because there are conflicting reports. Politico is reporting that the hardliners, the folks that want to cut even more of our public safety net, are revolting. So we're going to see how that plays out. And I hope that they can tank their own bill and not come up with something even worse. Maybe there's a little bit of hope in the division of the hardliners here, but I don't know. I'm not getting too caught up in that, because I've seen it before. They talk that talk, but when it comes down to it, they go along with the big bully in chief. Let's go to Amin calling us from L.A. Good morning, Amin.
Yes, good morning. Good morning. Respectfully, sometimes I think I'm listening to this black man who has 10 kids, laid up and had 10 children, and he comes home and tells his wife, I quit my job because I don't want to work for the white man. I quit my job. I got 10 kids, but I quit my job because I don't want to work for the white man. I would make Elon Musk the Minister of Education. I would ask him to be an honorary president of South Africa. And I would ask him, Mr. Elon Musk, could you build? He has $335 billion. He's worth $335 billion to be. It's 64 million South Africans. I would ask that brother, will he build universities in each of the districts of South Africa? How many Could you build elementary schools all over South Africa and libraries, Mr. Elon Musk? Will you please do that? And you are an honorary president of South Africa, and you are the Minister of Education. Come on in. We have a whole section of the city waiting for you. We make it,
So just bring back apartheid then. Just bring apartheid. Bring it on back.
I'm asking him to invest so much of that $335 billion into South African education and everything. I'm not.
Amin, are you on Twitter?
Am I on Twitter?
Yeah.
No, I'm not on Twitter.
Yeah, I can tell. Because what you're saying is totally disconnected from the reality of who Elon Musk is. Let me tell you something. If he built those schools, they'd be white only. Or if they allowed black students in, they'd be teaching that we're genetically inferior. He puts up posts on his own platform, which he controls, so he can push them out to everybody, stating that we are genetically inferior. He is a Malthusian white supremacist creep who gives Nazi salutes. Do you want him? You want to make him?
I don't care. He could teach me how to give a Nazi salute if he could bring in some of them $335 billion into
all money ain't good money. All money ain't good money, Amin. You have to care about that. You're signing up to be a slave.
Give me a break.
I am giving you a break.
Y'all ought to stop this narrative.
What narrative? The narrative that racist white supremacists shouldn't control schools and governments? Stop that narrative?
I don't care if you don't like me. I don't care if you don't like me.
I don't care if he doesn't like me either. That's not the point. He is putting forth a Malthusian genetic inferiority complex about black people on his platform. He's retweeting and platforming discredited anti-black science. What about that would make a good minister of education? Amin? Your turn.
I'm here. Your turn. I've already said it. You got to be responsible in this world.
I'm very responsible.
You can't talk this black thing, a white thing, black thing. That's not true. If you was
not
Chinese,
true.
Chinese would probably court him and say, something. Look what Trump did. Trump brought him in and gave him some power. He gave him Doge. I mean, that's what you do if you're responsible.
You gave him, so I mean, he gave him power. He gave him Doge.
Yeah.
He was able to save himself millions and millions of dollars by getting rid of all of the regulatory persons and bodies that were investigating him for problem criminal behavior and regulatory, violations, including underpaying and discriminating against black people and maltreating them in his factories. So he got all that out. He fired thousands, tens of thousands of people, including mostly black people from the Department of Education. That's what came out of him giving him power. And you're fine with that.
I'm not fine with any type of abuse. I'm just trying to be responsible for my family and feed my family, educate my family, and take care. In fact, other parts of Africa should, bring him in, like Nigeria, whatever.
I mean, you need to spend some time on Twitter before you talk that mess, because that is not. That's mess. Bringing Elon Musk in to recolonize Africa. What?
Look, Africa is what 99% black. I mean, it's a few white people there.
Not in South Africa. In South Africa, the white people own all the resources, almost all the resources and land.
Okay, Dominique, I can't really talk no more. I got to go in here and ride this mule, but I'm going to ride this mule in order to feed my family and be responsible.
I mean, look, we all do what we got to do to feed our families. That doesn't mean we have to lick the boots of people whose agenda is the eradication of our communities, the decimation.
I don't care about a person called me a bootlicker.
I'm not calling you a bootlicker. I'm saying let's not lick boots.
No, I'm saying, but I got to be responsible to take care of my family.
All money ain't good money. Okay, so get a OnlyFans then.
What?
Get a OnlyFans. If you're willing to do anything for money, sell your butt on the internet.
Oh, no. Anything honorable and decent and moral.
So dealing with Elon Musk, who's a white supremacist, is honorable and moral, but showing your booty is not?
But working for the white man is not anything dishonorable.
Nobody said anything about working for the white man. You put that out there. I've worked for the so-called, the whole term the white man is so dated to me. Like, what does that even mean? I'm talking about a specific Nazi white supremacist who has demonstrably shown that he wants to undermine and decimate our community.
Look, it's nothing worse than what we went through as a people, getting lynched every day, and our families broken up, and our children sold down the river and everything for 200-300 years. It's nothing that we could imagine is worse than that. This so-called stuff they're doing, Nazi salutes, is nothing but a piece of cake.
The Nazi salute is just the symbol of the actions. If he was going around doing Nazi salutes and, being nerd boy, I wouldn't care about that either. But it's being reflected in actions. People, thousands, tens of thousands of people are losing their jobs. The regulatory bodies that keep workers safe and keep regular everyday people safe are being dismantled. The Department of Education has been basically dismantled, and most of the black people that work there have been fired. Why is he only targeting black workers? Why is he going into South Africa and trying to stop black people from making progress there? Black South Africans, it's not just the salute, it's all the stuff that comes with it, the policies. And if you think making him an honorary president and inviting him to run the schools of South Africa is going to be a gift to the South African people, I invite you to go on Twitter and look what kind of garbage this man is putting forth as fact. Misinformation, outright lies.
I could tell you how much one of our billionaires actually think about this whole thing of Nazi salutes and KKK. Look at Kanye. He don't give a doggone about that stuff. He's going on being Kanye, and he's making mockery at all that old stuff that our people are trying to say the white man is holding you back. The white man got a noose around you. Come on.
No, I didn't say none of that, baby boy. You trying to put words in my mouth. I never said anything about. I don't even talk that way. I don't even talk that way. The white man. That's not how I talk. I'm talking about a specific white person, a specific apartheid American called Elon Musk. I believe in specificity, not generalizations.
Okay. All right. Yes, ma'am. Thank you for this platform. Thank you for listening to KBLA. It's awesome. Okay, this is talk. We need more talk radio.
We sure do. And you're invited back anytime, Amin, because I love agreeing to disagree just as much as agreeing to agree.
Okay, now. Have a good one.
And you as well. All right, looking forward to my conversation next hour with Keandria Damone, who is doing amazing things on the internet to hold people accountable who are raising money for white supremacists. That's next on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. A pro-Palestinian protest is set for Columbia University's commencement. Yesterday, interim president Claire Shipman was booed as chants of Free Mahmoud rang out, referring to a grad arrested by ICE. Columbia recently agreed to federal demands to regain funding. House Republicans are racing to pass President Trump's spending bill, which could add $3.3 trillion to the deficit. After a 1 a.m. Rules Committee meeting, Trump warned GOP holdouts that they'd be knocked out fast. With Democrats opposed, the GOP could only afford 3 defections. And health officials warn of a possible measles exposure at last week's Shakira concert at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. An infected out-of-state attendee was among the 55,000 present. Anyone who may have been exposed should call ahead before seeking medical care. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice. Continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at unbound.org.
Is this the time? This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
Game 1 in the NBA Western Conference Finals goes to Oklahoma City. OKC used a dominant second half Tuesday night to pull away for a 114-88 win at home over Minnesota. Game 2 in the best of 7 is Thursday night at OKC. Indiana and New York meet up tonight in Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals, 4 p.m. tip-off LA time. The Dodgers snapped their 4-game losing streak. They beat Arizona 4-3 in 10 innings. The Angels won their 5th straight. They beat Oakland 7-5, longest winning streak for the Angels since June 11, 2023. NFL owners voted Tuesday to allow NFL players to compete in flag football in the Summer Olympics here in LA in 2028. The Summer Games in LA will be the first for flag football as an Olympic sport. The Olympics are scheduled for July 14th to the 30th. That could be a problem for NFL players. Most NFL teams start their training camp within those 2 weeks. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
You really about to do it?
40 acres and a mule. This is bigger than the music.
You really about to do it?
Yeah, they tried to rig the game, but you can't fake influence.
Who among us doesn't like black music? But Kendrick is right. This moment is so much bigger than music. These are serious times. We've got serious problems, and we need serious people who understand that slogans are not solutions. When you want substantial and sober analysis about things that matter to you and the ones you love, this is where you turn. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we've got your black. When the flames subside, who ensures that the stories endure? At KBLA Talk 1580, we're committed to preserving the voices that shape our community. We know people have short memories. And as long as this Black Talk Radio at the Altadena Historical Society will officially archive our recent town hall, alongside every episode of Conversation Live out to